Hello everybody, I'm Grant Fluff from Fletcher Sports Zone and welcome back to another YouTube video. And before I begin this video, I would just like to say that you're probably wondering why I haven't been commentating much over the past week. Heck, this is my first video I'm doing in the past 9 days. It's because, unfortunately, I tested positive for COVID, so obviously I had a pretty bad cough. I had a fever. As much as I would love to commentate Week 18 of the NFL season, as much as I would love to commentate hockey and basketball last week, it just wasn't going to happen. Health comes first, of course, and there was just no way I was going to be able to broadcast any games for you guys and really, put my best work out there, put my best foot forward. I would have had a miserable time. You would have had a miserable time watching it. Yes, I did test positive for COVID. Hopefully, I'll be back broadcasting the Bruins and Flyers on Thursday. We'll see, but at least that is the plan. All right, with that update out of the way, I would like to address what this video is about. My favorite NFL player, Blake Bortles, the man behind me. Oh, I know. You didn't know I had a green screen? Oh, I got a green screen. All right, but Blake Bortles and the New Orleans Saints agreed to a future reserves contract earlier today at around 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what does this mean? Well, the good news is that now Blake Bortles will not have to become an unrestricted free agent on March 16th of this year when all the expiring contracts come to a close officially. All right, Blake Bortles, 2019, 2020, and 2021 spent significant time in free agency. Well, not so much 2019. The Rams signed him a couple weeks into free agency in 2019. He didn't have that long of a wait then. But in 2020, he waited the entire offseason just to get signed by the Denver Broncos in week 3 and did nothing but, according to Vic Fangio, violated COVID protocols and just stayed on the practice squad basically the whole time. Complete waste of time for Bortles. And then you fast forward to this offseason. He doesn't get signed till around late May, mid-June. He's officially signed with the Green Bay Packers in late June, gets released in July, comes back in November because Aaron Rodgers tested positive for COVID. But of course, Aaron Rodgers comes back. Kurt Benkert comes back from the COVID protocol list. Jordan Love is, the future in Green Bay. Blake Bortles out the door. They didn't want him as a fourth-string QB. And then this leads to the New Orleans Saints, who signed him Christmas Eve of 2021. It was a Christmas miracle for me. I said, commentating a game the previous day, I said Blake Bortles is going to stay in free agency basically all summer, and there was a chance he was going to retire. Well, my thoughts of that are completely out the window now. So Christmas Eve, Saints sign Bortles to basically a one-year deal. Just cool. You're on the Saints for the rest of the year, basically. He is the backup for the Week 16 game against Miami. Doesn't play. Rookie Ian Book starts. Bortles was only on the team for 4 days. They didn't even though the Saints did lose in a blowout, there was no way they were going to throw him in at the end of the game anyway. Just didn't know the playbook. Again, you're only on the team for 4 days. You don't want Bortles to just go out there and completely look like a fool. You're gonna let the rookie Ian Book play the rest of that game. Week 17 against Carolina, on the active roster, but is the third-string quarterback, and then gets demoted to the practice squad. 2 days later, goes on the COVID-19 list and is inactive for the Saints away game against the Falcons Week 18, which they did win, but of course San Francisco won. No playoffs for the New Orleans Saints this year. There's your little Blake Bortles timeline. What's been going on since basically the Rams signed him after in 2019. All right, fast forward to January of 2022. We are now looking at a quarterback who has been on the team for 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, almost 4 weeks at the time of recording this, Bortles is still not really been in the scene, if you will, in New Orleans. However, they do have 2 expiring contracts. Trevor Siemian is one, Jameis Winston the other. Now, obviously, Jameis Winston was the Saints starter before he got injured, which led to them signing Trevor Siemian and eventually Bortles and eventually starting Ian Book. But Jameis Winston is an interesting contract. I do think New Orleans is going to ultimately re-sign him. We know Taysom Hill is still going to be with New Orleans for 3 more seasons. Sean Payton just loves Taysom Hill. There's no other way you can go around it. Sean Payton respects Taysom Hill, which is fine with me. He is a good, versatile player. Taysom Hill can catch touchdowns, throw touchdowns, run for touchdowns, even blocked a couple of punts back in the day. The guy is a phenomenal athlete. A little overpaid, in my opinion, but I understand why you want to keep someone like Taysom Hill around. Trevor Siemian and Ian Book. Here's why you bring back Bortles. Trevor Siemian is an upcoming free agent. Bortles, more of a veteran than Trevor Siemian, so at least Bortles may play the Trevor Siemian role. Or what they do is they say, okay, Blake, we are going to help you. You are going to be our official backup quarterback. You're going to help us develop Ian Book, but we're going to sit you behind Jameis Winston. Taysom Hill's all over the place. He may be the QB2. He may be the QB3. We're still going to use Taysom Hill regardless, so don't worry about him. Again, this is what I'm imagining Sean Payton is telling Bortles. You're going to have to basically either be the QB2 or QB3. Basically, for now, he's playing the Trevor Siemian role. Siemian this year for New Orleans went 0 for 3 and had an abysmal performance against the Eagles, an abysmal performance on Thanksgiving against Buffalo, and, okay, in the rest of his games, he actually wasn't atrocious. He showed confidence in the Tennessee game and in the last game of the year against Atlanta, replacing an injured Taysom Hill, which is another reason why they may have signed Bortles to a future reserve deal. He did throw a touchdown. He played decent. He held the fort down the second half. But again, it's kind of comparing apples to oranges. Trevor Siemian, Blake Bortles, not the greatest QB names in the world by any means, but when you look at it this way, you're thinking, okay, Bortles been to an AFC Championship game. Bortles has thrown over 100 career touchdowns. Bortles has been coached by guys like Sean McVay and Matt LaFleur. And even some will call Doug Marrone an okay coach, which I don't agree with at all as a Jaguar fan. But we'll let other coaches think what they know. Here's another reason why. I think it's either because Bortles has been coached by really solid coaches the past 2 years. Bortles is quickly gathering the playbook, and they're going to use him in the Trevor Siemian role. But here is a completely separate path where Blake Bortles may go down. Here's why New Orleans may have signed him to this very early extension. Packers offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett is available. Now, he is a former Jaguar offensive coordinator. He loves Blake Bortles. From his days from college, again, he was the Jaguars offensive coordinator when they drafted Bortles. In 2014, he was the Packers offensive coordinator this year. Why do you think they brought back Bortles? Not once, but twice. If the Saints interview Hackett and he does accept the offensive coordinator role, and New Orleans maybe doesn't re-sign Jameis Winston, the slim possibility that happens, I think, is almost slim to none. I do think Jameis Winston is going to be on the Saints next year. But the slim possibility of if they do sign Hackett as a new offensive coordinator or quarterback coach, he's going to want to keep Blake around for as long as he can. Now, it may be a situation in Green Bay where, okay, Bortles may be the fourth-string QB. Maybe Bortles asks for a release saying, listen, I as much as I respect being with this team, and I want to be a fourth string, get me out of here. That may be the case as well come October, November of next season. But if you're taking a look at this at an offensive standpoint, you have to realize that coaches are going to get the players who you like. I know a lot of people are going to be out there on Twitter like, oh, great, Blake Bortles, why does he still have a job? He hasn't even thrown a pass in 2 years. Oh, what the heck? It's that bust to, the Jaguars. They were in the AFC Championship game. Well, they weren't going to win the Super Bowl with Blake Bortles. You say all that, but at the same time, coaches are going to keep the players they like. Case in point, why do you think Sean Payton is keeping Taysom Hill around for another 3 years? Almost paying him a contract that could give him up to $90 million with incentives. Taysom Hill ain't worth near half that much, but coaches are going to keep around the players they love. Maybe Payne may have been impressed with Bortles to begin with. I don't know the exact case with that scenario. But again, if the Saints approach the offseason, they get a new quarterback coach or offensive coordinator to get that guy to keep Bortles around as that third, at least for me, hopefully second string quarterback, who knows what happens? We're another Jameis Winston injury away from seeing Bortles play for the first time in a few years. Again, it's really interesting. This guy, not only has he signed with the Broncos, signed with the Rams, signed with the Packers, now signed with the Saints. He's also he's also participated in professional tryouts for a few teams like the Falcons and the Seahawks. Even though maybe he's not getting signed, Bortles' name is always out there in the free agent market. He's always a guy where, hey, if I need to trade a 5th-round pick for this guy to make sure I have a good backup in case. Basically, what I'm trying to say is Bortles was, until now, I think, the NFL's version of an emergency backup quarterback, like how the Saints signed him. But again, he succeeds expectations in practice. He gets signed to this contract. Maybe if he, again, get the right coordinators, he exceeds expectations during training camp. Well, now you're on the preseason roster. What if he does good in the preseason? This is what I'm talking about. If he does great in the preseason, that's what could earn him the QB2 spot. It's going to come down to, and again, I don't think there's any hope that Trevor Siemian is going to be back in the Saints uniform next year. When it comes to the preseason, you're coming down to Bortles or Ian Book. And Ian Book, he had an NFL start under his belt a couple weeks ago against the Dolphins on Monday Night Football. National audience, if you couldn't tell. It went horribly. He threw an interception on his second career pass. He really did not generate any offense until garbage time. It was abysmal. It was a rookie, 5th-round or 4th-round rookie making his first career start, but it went poorly, as you'd expect. But now you bring in the veteran who's projected to play well in the preseason. Ian Book already had last preseason to show himself up. Maybe this is the preseason where Ian Book's back's kind of against the wall, doesn't necessarily perform as good as Bortles does. We're looking at Ian Book's getting released. Bortles is the QB 3 or 2. Again, I think 2. They're going to venture out with Taysom Hill, have him play more offensive styles. Jameis Winston will be the QB 1 again under center. Bortles the QB2, and I guess Taysom Hill technically would be the QB3. Ian Book may stay as the practice squad guy. That's what's probably going to end up happening because I don't really see them releasing Ian Book outright. He'll probably just get released and then sign back on the practice squad. Or maybe that'll be Bortles who will be doing the same fate. But what I do know is that today Blake Bortles got re-signed. And again, considering the fact that he was projected to be a 4th-string quarterback, with Winston's injury, 5th-string quarterback heading into free agency, and the fact, again, that they chose Bortles over Trevor Siemian, I think that is sending a direct message that Bortles is going to be in New Orleans until at least the preseason, if not later than that. And I cannot wait to order my Saints Blake Bortles jersey because as long as he stays on the team, I will be ordering one in due time. And I can continue to add on to my Bortles collection of jerseys. We count number 6 on the Bortles wall. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. And let me know if you like it. Let me know if you think I'm insane and Bortles going to be cut in March. Let me know if you think Bortles really has that chance to become the Saints quarterback. What if they hire Nathaniel Hackett? He does some stuff that's going to sugar talk Sean Payton into making this guy the quarterback one. Who knows? All I'm going to say is this. Bortles has the experience to succeed. He has the weapons to succeed with a healthy Michael Thomas and emerging Marquise Callaway. He has the weapons to succeed. And the Saints have the quarterbacks to back him up if he fails. But the question is, where does Bortles rank on that QB depth chart? That is the looming question. Well, all I will say is that, at least in my opinion, he's going to be on this team longer than Trevor Siemian will be. And again, for a guy who's only been on the roster for at this point 3.5 weeks, that's impressive. But okay, I'm going to wrap it up now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. Let me know what else you want to see. Broadcast will be coming back shortly. As my cough basically is gone now, I'll be doing more play-by-plays for the NFL playoffs. Back to doing Power Skate show, of course. And then you'll probably be getting Bortles updates as the offseason goes along. As we roll into the NFL offseason and as, the Saints may bring in another quarterback, hey, I can assure you this is not going to be the last Blake Bortles video you're getting this offseason. There's going to be a lot of times I'm going to talk about him, especially if New Orleans continues to bring in the pieces for him to potentially succeed in this offense. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. I'll see you guys in the next video.